The Rhomphaia, the weapon Roman legionaries feared. Gladiators, particularly the Thracians, often stepped into the arena wielding curved daggers known as sica. These blades did indeed originate from Thrace and later spread throughout the eastern Mediterranean. In Judea, for example, rebels commonly used the sica, earning them the nickname Sicarii. But in real warfare, the sica played only a secondary role. The true weapon of the Thracians, far more fearsome, was the Rhomphaia. A long, curved sword, the Rhomphaia emerged as early as the 5th century BC and remained in use for over 1,000 years. The Romans learned firsthand just how dangerous it could be, battling the Thracians across centuries. So, what exactly was the Rhomphaia? It was a two-handed bladed weapon with a long, slightly forward-curving edge and a straight, guardless hilt. The full length could reach up to 140 centimeters, with around 60 centimeters dedicated to the handle. Despite weighing less than 3 kilograms, it could still be wielded with one hand if necessary. Its sharpened tip allowed for both slashing and thrusting attacks. The balance point was shifted forward, like in battle axes or yataghans, which made each strike devastating. A few swings could split a Roman scutum shield, and unarmored foes could be quite literally cut in half. Even if armor withstood the blow, the sheer force could break bones, collarbones, ribs, even cause concussions through helmets. One clean hit could take an enemy out of the fight instantly. However, such a weapon demanded serious skill. Two-handed swords were always reserved for seasoned warriors, and a curved blade like the Rhomphaia was even harder to master than a straight one. That's why it was issued only to the best soldiers, men who typically wore high-quality armor and carried no shields, since a shield would interfere with the sword's two-handed grip. Thracian cavalry also favored the Rhomphaia. It was perfectly suited for striking downward from horseback. After Thrace was conquered in the 1st century AD, the Romans incorporated local soldiers into their ranks. These warriors brought their beloved Rhomphaia with them into Roman service. The author Aulus Gellius noted that during the Battle of Magnesia, it was Thracians with Rhomphaii who guarded the baggage train. Plutarch also mentioned them. They lifted their heavy iron swords high over their right shoulders. That was the Rhomphaia, no doubt. But here's the question. If the Rhomphaia was so powerful, why didn't the Romans adopt it, as they did with so many other enemy weapons? And why didn't gladiators, especially those portraying Thracians, use it? The answer lies in tactics. The Rhomphaia was especially effective against tightly packed shield formations. But Roman enemies often didn't fight that way. Instead of ordered ranks, they came in disorganized waves. Against such foes, Roman tactics proved superior, throwing pila, locking shields, and engaging in controlled close combat. In a tight formation, the Rhomphaia was actually a liability. It was long, heavy, and required space to swing. Roman historian Livy even described one battle where the Rhomphaia became useless because of dense tree branches overhead. There simply wasn't room to swing the sword. In close quarters, the Gladius was far more practical. Short, nimble, and perfectly designed for fighting shoulder to shoulder. As for gladiators, the Thracians in the arena were rarely actual Thracians, and to wield a Rhomphaia properly required years of training, not just strength, but deep familiarity with the weapon from a young age. On top of that, fights with the Rhomphaia would likely have ended too quickly. One blow, and the match is over. And if you missed, the heavy blade left you wide open to counterattack. But gladiatorial combat wasn't about swift executions. It was about spectacle, endurance, drama. That's why the Rhomphaia never made it into the arena. What do you think? Was the Roman Gladius truly superior, or did tactics win the day? Let us know your thoughts in the comments. We'd love to hear from you. And if you enjoyed this story, give it a like and subscribe for more brutal, fascinating stories from the ancient world. Thanks for watching.